It's amazing how much people are willing to share on Reddit about themselves. It's really like a modern-day town hall, but everyone's semi-protected by anonymity, or so they think. Especially on the Ask Reddit page, people from all over the world giving tips on the best home-cooked roast beef, to the best way to hide a body after a drug deal gone wrong. Yeah, it's a very mixed bag. On the plus side, it removes the innocent veil of society we try to hide behind, because if that veil were to one day fall from the one rusty screw holding it up, it would make the purge look like Willy Wonka in the chocolate factory. Yeah, people who have worked for the ultra-wealthy, what are some of their deepest, darkest secrets? This thread was created by Critical Roles 2 days ago, with a whopping 8,000 upvotes and 2,000 comments, so I think we're in for a treat. So sit back, pop some popcorn, and fix yourself up some delicious billionaire tears. Sorry, we don't have their blood yet, but I promise you we'll have some in stock for you shortly. Rather Be Warm states, I did a personal IT service for an incredible wealthy guy in Tucson. House overlooking the city from the foothills. 8-foot single-pane windows, etc. He had a ranch of at least 40 acres in Texas, and most of his money was from oil. His biggest secret was that he knew most of the people only liked him for his wealth, including his present wife. Present wife. 2 kids and 2 stepkids, and they would cut ties in a heartbeat if it all disappeared. You know, some people never learn that money isn't everything. Like Heart the Echo says, some people are so poor, all they have is money. And no, I'm not going to say that it's not important, obviously, because in this society, if you don't make 3 times your monthly rent, you're discarded to the discount bin of society. I tell you from experience. It seems OP here worked for someone born into the life with a silver spoon shoved up their ass. Don't worry, I don't judge. But this oil tycoon, like most others, sacrificed their souls and relationships, all for a house in the foothills filled with fake smiles and contempt. BK Davis 38 states, worked for 3 to 4 billionaires, was in construction management and did multi-year remodels of some homes and some new builds. I've been on their jets, yachts, visited 3 of 9 homes, drove their cars, helped move Picasso's across 30,000 square foot house, you name it. My biggest takeaways are 1. That many of them have no real understanding of how the world works, and 2. It's often lonely, fearful, and sad life. It's always the same thing with these people. They stress over who is trying to take advantage of them. My wealthiest client ever drove a Prius because she was afraid of being targeted. They paid to have 24/7 security at the house because they fear the eat-to-rich crowd and live in paranoia. Their kids have nothing to aspire to, no dreams, and any accomplishments are mere expectations. I got out of it because the stress was unbearable when pulling a rabbit out of your ass becomes what you're known for, and the expectations are that you will always be able to do that. They throw money at your bosses and your boss agrees to the impossible, and then you have to get it done. It seems like the biggest symptom of wealth is paranoia. The bigger the bank account, the bigger the psychiatric bill, if any at all. Alan Watts said it best, and I paraphrase. He said wealthy people are so absorbed in making or keeping money and defending it against others, and that's all they worry about all day and night. Or if they don't worry about that, they're worried about their health, family relationships, or if the Epstein files are about to leak. These days, anybody with a net worth of over 10 million probably has a connection to PDF Incorporated. Kifrella states, I attended a private boarding school with many ultra-wealthy students. Just so much abuse of every kind. Beat, starved, locked out, tortured, and SA'd. People don't call because there's no point, because the authorities won't even go, let alone do anything. The richer they are, the more fucked their kids are. if there is anything off in the family. Man, just imagine being so wealthy that the authorities would rather take a bribe than deal with you. Another reason to be grateful to have been born poor. Okay, maybe that's the only reason. Lovable Butterfly states, not me, but my parents. They went to school with a girl who was from a poor family and became rich after high school. The girl and her roommate were in college and created the first storyline of a popular video game. She went to school for computer science and got a degree along with the royalties that came from selling said storyline. She worked for the company that purchased the storyline for a while and decided to retire early. My parents stayed in touch with her from time to time, but haven't seen her in many years until very recent, when her mother died from cancer. The last time she spoke to my mom, she became very lonely after having several relationships fail due to various reasons. She went into a bad depression and used some of her money to basically shelter herself away from other people. When my parents reconnected with her during her mother's funeral, they said she looked aged and worn out, like she hadn't slept in years. It turns out she was on various depression and anxiety meds that weren't working well, and she stayed up over 48 hours before the funeral. Her father said she was losing weight fast and told my parents that money had changed her. It was very evident, she thinks, and lives life one day at a time, hoping the day is done quickly so she can go to bed. It broke my parents' heart knowing she became successful, yet struggles with her own insecurities and mental health issues herself. I think the story speaks for itself. Wealth before maturity is such a toxic thing, especially mental maturity. It's such a recipe for disaster. I hope they work their problems out. NoNet5231 states, work for a landscaping company who had some wealthy clients. One day, one of our customers legit talked about how we should line up all poor people and shoot them in the back of the head, execution style. Like, dude, who do you think takes care of your lawn? I wasn't surprised by what he said, it just confirmed my suspicions. No championship, 8433 replies. What made him think that way? NoNet responds. Never asked him. At the time he said it, I was new to the company and didn't want to push back or ask any questions. I just wanted to work and make money so I could provide for my kid. He was a more difficult customer who eventually got dropped because of his unrealistic expectations, treating us like we were his own personal company when we have over 100 other customers. This is a wild one. At least my guy here gets to the point. No beating around the bush. He just wants us brokies gone. I think I can respect it, as I share the same sentiment.